Hey, everybody. It is Tuesday. Tuesday, the day of freedom. Because it's my last day of school. And so I'm celebrating with all of the other teachers that, we're out of summer, but we're out for the summer, but we're not ever really out. That's a misconception for teachers because we do so much professional development and so many other things. Anyway, so today is day 3 of Art Hacks. Day 3. And so today what I'm going to do is I'm going to walk you through how to do some easy lettering and how to space everything out. So I will post below this post a thing that I did on the football field during graduation, and I freehanded 2019 for the graduating class, and then I did the school logo. And everybody was kind of freaked out that I did that freehand. Well, it's really easy to do things freehand, number one, when you've been to art school, and number two, when you know the tricks of the trade. And I'm going to share with you the tricks that will help you be able to freehand different letters and different styles, and you will be able to space them out. So, hey Sarah, so I'm going to put the camera on my sketchbook real quick. All right, so I've got the camera here on my sketchbook, and I'm just going to, whenever I do any kind of lettering, I always give myself lines. And I'm going to draw this super, super, super light. Give me just a second here. Super, super light, right? Where I want the top to be. I'm not going to use the ruler. And then where I want the bottom to be. So there's the top of my letter and there's the bottom of my letter. Remember yesterday that I said, above all things, draw light till you get it right. Draw light till you get it right. I cannot emphasize that enough. Draw light till you get it right. Because when you draw really heavy on a page like this, a lot of people tend to do, when you try to erase that, you still see that mark there. Can you see that? But when you draw really light, it's easy to put down something that what we call roughing in something, and then be able to erase it. So if you look at these lines that I've drawn really lightly, and then you can go back and see, you can't see those after I've erased them. So I'm drawing really light until I get it right. And so whenever I do any kind of lettering, I always give myself guidelines, even now. So I've got guidelines. Let's say that I want to draw my name, D-E-B-B-Y. There are 5 letters, D-E-B-B-Y, 5 letters. So I'm going to go through here. The first thing I'm going to do is space it out. So I'm going to go through and give myself a mark on the half mark. All right. So I know if I space this out, I have D-E-B-B-Y. There are 5 letters. So I need to put one letter in the center, and that's one of the B's. So I'm going to go through here and I'm going to draw capital letters just so I can show you guys. So there's a B, right? So I know that the B is in the middle. Now I'm going to try to make these pretty much the same. They're going to be just a little different. You see that? I've given myself an outline. And so over here, I'm going to go ahead and draw another B. My name is spelled D-E-B-B-Y, and I've spaced these out, and I'm just drawing the letters. I'm just writing them out, okay? I've got a top and I've got a bottom. So I know on the other side, I have to do the D and the B, and I'm going to space them out about the same. I've got them, about a pinky finger apart. So I'm going to go ahead and draw the E. And again, I'm doing this really lightly so that I can go back and I can erase. Okay, and I'm going to draw in the D. I'm doing something that I call chicken scratch, that I really discourage my students from doing chicken scratchings like this. You know, there's a time for sketching and there's a time not for sketching. And this right here can be loosely put in. So now the technique for doing block letters is really easy. You're going to either outline the inside and outside. You can either do this, outline the outside and the inside at the same width. So you want this width and this width and this width all the way around to be about the same, and then erase what's inside, and let's see what we've got. That's not too bad. So I can go ahead and just put that just a little darker, and then I'll go to my next letter. Now for this one, I'm going whatever space this is, and if you have to, measure it with a pencil. And you can see it's going to be about right there. going to be the same thing. So you're going to go ahead and go all the way down. I've got my top and my bottom measurements. And this is going to be really easy. I'm just going to bring this down a little bit and bring it up. Pay attention to how thick everything is because you want everything to be pretty even. And if it's not right, then just go back and erase it. And then you're eventually going to erase what's inside, right? I'm going all the way down. This is about the same all the way down. And I'm going to just keep doing that. And this is called kind of fleshing out. And you see, I'm just going around the contour of this B. That means the outside. I'm just drawing around the outside. And then I'm going to try to keep this the same width as all the other letters. That's what makes things look wonky. I might just want to close that and bring that out and close it. And then I'll erase and I'll look at it and see how it looks. Yep, that looks pretty good to me. That looks okay. And I'm going to do the same thing all the way around. For the sake of time, I'm just going to stop right there and I'm going to show you how I do this. So for me, when I make letters three-dimensional, right? When I have block letters and I want to make them look like they're kind of hanging out in space or make them look more 3D, the rule for this is everywhere there's a vertices is a corner. It's another word for a corner. Anywhere there's a vertices, there's a line that's drawn down. So it's kind of off to the side, not vertical like we did yesterday. Remember like we did the banner yesterday and we drew the vertical lines down? Remember that? If you saw my Facebook Live yesterday, we drew the vertical lines and we drew the banner, right? This is not going to be vertical lines. These are going to be kind of off to the side. So everywhere there's a corner on the left-hand side, right? Only on the left-hand side of the letter. Kind of. There's a kind of an exception to the rule. So there's a left, down, down. Now, this corner needs something. So what we do when things are rounded is we just come down, just like that on the widest part. And now all we have to do is connect whatever line this is. This has to be also. I'm going to connect and kind of round that out a little bit. Now, here's an insider trick. I can do this and go around and it'll kind of give it a three-dimensional effect. And then I can go through and I can kind of shade this. Remember how I taught you to shade yesterday? Kind of shade that and kind of blend it in. And then all of a sudden it's a three-dimensional letter. So we do that same thing with the E. I'm going to draw a line down to the left, down to the left. This is depending on our light source coming from this way, right? There's the sun and it's shining the light source. So this is the other side's going to be on our shadow. So here's a corner. Here's a corner. Now let's go over here. This is one of the exceptions to the rule. This is the right-hand side of the letter, but we still need something here. So there's a corner, and a corner, right? And now all we have to do again is connect those lines. And there we go. And I can shade them very lightly. Shade very lightly. Go through there, and if I have a Q-tip, this is even better. And then just do that a little bit. For the B, let's do the same thing. Where there's a corner, where there's a corner. Now remember how I did this D with the rounded part? I'm going to do the same thing with the rounded part. And remember how we did this inside? I'm going to do the exact same thing. And then let's square it off. That's what it's called. Whatever this line is, this line has to look exactly like it. Whatever this line is, this line has to look exactly like it. This line and these lines have to be about the same. So now we're going to, and when you shade it, you're going to shade it the direction that this line goes. It just makes it look a little bit more realistic. And then you're going to kind of blend it a little bit, blend it, blend it. You see that? And now if I went ahead and I drew everything out, it would be very, very even. Then I could go back and I could erase this headline at the top and the line at the bottom that gave me the guides, and it just looks like it's hanging out in space. Now, if I want to do bubble letters, see, these block letters are geometric. They have sharp edges. Bubble letters are exactly the opposite of that. They're soft and squishy. So if I do a D, I'm just going to make a soft and squishy. And I like to do this. This is a throwback to the 70s. I'm kind of giving my age of the hippie thing. I'm not that old, but I was a teenager no, I wasn't a teenager in the 70s. I was a teenager in the 80s. But anyway, I love the 70s. So with the E, I'm just going to go squish, 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 and then put the B there, the little holes there, and then squish, squish, and then give me a little like marshmallowy squishy Y. You see that? These take a little bit more practice of being squishy. So here is, just again to recap, give yourself a top and a bottom. Divide out the letters, depending on how many letters. There'll be so many on each side. Divide those out and space them out. And then just draw the letter in. And then you can go through and draw on each side. Or you can, in this case, just draw this, making sure that all the way around it's the same width. And then the rule to make it three-dimensional is, I don't do mine on the left side. Just depends. But right now I'm doing it on the left side. I'm going to draw a line down, a line down. And if this is rounded, I'm going to draw a line down from this widest part. And then whatever this line is, this line has to be also. Whatever this line is, this line has to be also. Then I'm going to give it a little bit of a shadow right there in the middle. Okay? Got that? One more thing that I want to show you, and this is my lettering that I do. This is easy kind of faux calligraphy. So if I draw, I'm going to use a Sharpie with this. I'm just going to draw my name just regular. D-E-B-B-Y. That just looks like a regular name, doesn't it? Well, there's a technique where you can go through here with a Sharpie and you can make the ends of the letters a little bigger. So if I go through here and I just make this a little bigger and this a little bigger, you see, I did this. Made those a little bigger like that. Okay, and I'm going to make each of the ends, you make a little bigger. And then go through here and make this a little bigger. I'm making kind of like it, I'm just kind of flaring it out. Like that. It just makes it a little more fancier when you're first getting into lettering. So the end of it, I'm going to flare it out. I'm going to flare it out, and then I'm going to flare this out. And see how much better that looks just than just a regular D-E. So this is all I did. I took this and I went from here to here, right? Art is easy once you know what to do and once you know the hang of it. Tomorrow I'm going to come on and I'm going to give you another art hack. And let me switch my camera around if I can. Here I am. So this is art hack 3. We focused on letters a little bit today. And listen, the reason that I'm doing this for you guys is not to stress you out. Go back to my lives. Follow along with me and draw with me. This is the intent of doing this, is to hold your hand, to give you a safe, easy place to start either connecting to your art if you've never done it, or reconnecting to your art. So if you used to make art back when you were a teenager or a young adult and life got in the way, listen, I have been there. I wanted to be a creative. I went into the medical field and I was miserable. I gave up my dream just so I could get a paycheck, and I needed a paycheck to be able to support my kids because I was a single mom a big part of that time. And I recently, at the age of 40, went back to school. I learned to be an artist, but I'm telling you, you do not have to go to school to learn to be an artist. I have an art degree. It does not matter if you do or not. You can benefit from mine. I will share. And that's what I'm trying to do. So I love you. Please have fun with this. Let me know if this is helpful. Let me know maybe what you would like to see down below. And I have 4 more art hacks left. I have 4 that I'm going to do this week. And I'll listen and I will help you any way I can. I love you. This is your life. This is your heart. This is your canvas. Your life is your canvas. You choose what you create. You're capable of creating any life you choose. Sometimes you just need to be reminded. Here's your reminder for the day. I love you. Have a great day, and I'll see you tomorrow.